So I want you to think about a man who's in a position of leadership. Let's say he's the captain of the football team. This man, he's in great shape, he's got some swagger about him, and almost always he either has women interested in him or he has women chasing him, and even women he's interested that are chasing him. And I want to ask you, why specifically is that? The answer is very simple. It's because this man has what's known as high SMV. SMV actually stands for sexual market value. And sexual market value is basically a man's sum of his looks, his status, his finances, and other resources he has, and his social and dating skills. Let's take a man like Justin Bieber, for example. Now, I don't know if Justin Bieber is in a relationship right now, but what I do know is this: even if he's not in a relationship, it is very, very, very easy for a man like Justin Bieber to find a girl that he wants. Now, why exactly is that? It's because this man has high SMV. He has looks, he has status, he has money, he has great skills, and he has resources in general. All these things combined make him a man of high SMV. And all women, no matter what you tell me, or a really large amount of women, are just throwing themselves at him and they're dying for him. They're desperate for him. They're trying to take these selfies with him. They're trying to ask for his autograph. They're trying to ask for this, ask for that. Why is that? Because this man has high SMV. Now, I obviously don't know this man on a personal level, but I do know this. As long as this man is not an absolutely horrible person, it will be very, very, very easy for this man to find a suitable partner. Okay, so now that you know that the men with the highest SMV get the most girls, you might sit there and ask, wait, I'm not in shape, I don't look good, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have any status. Why would women be attracted to me, and how would women be attracted to me? Also, you're basically implying that a man like Justin Bieber, who is very high status, gets all the girls. If a man like that gets all the girls, how do normal people like you and I get girls? Okay, first of all, to answer your first question, in terms of looks and your fitness, you have absolute control over it. You could always work on your haircut. You could always work on your style. You could always work on your swagger, your skills. You could always work on the food you eat, skincare routine, drinking a lot of water, cutting out all junk from your diet. You have control of all of that. In terms of making a lot of money, you can always start something where you have a natural inclination to something and you start developing that skill set to make you more money, so that in just a few years amount of time, you can start making a lot of money doing this one thing that you really enjoy. And to answer your second question, where you're asking, okay, if a man like Justin Bieber gets all the girls, how are normal people like me and you gonna get all the girls? Well, let me tell you this first. Although the men with the highest SMV have higher odds of attracting the higher value members of the opposite sex, that doesn't necessarily mean that, for example, if there are two men, one of them makes $1 million a year, but the other only makes $200,000 a year, that the higher value woman would always only choose the one who makes $1 million a year just because he makes more money. It's not just one factor, it's a lot of factors like I just discussed earlier. The man who makes $200,000 a year, even though he makes way less than the man who makes $1 million a year, he still makes a lot of money. Maybe he's more charismatic than the first guy. Maybe she just likes him more than the first guy. Maybe he has better social skills. Maybe he makes her feel better. Maybe he's just a better person to be around. So that being said, it's not just one clear-cut thing such as status only or money only or looks only. It's a bunch of things that comprise a man's SMV. The fact of the matter is, man, whether you like this or not, or whether you know it or not, you are in competition with other guys. However, here's the thing. Competition usually implies that there are limited resources. However, there are not a limited supply of women. As a matter of fact, check this out. About 20% of the men typically attract 80% of the women, which means 1 in every 5 guys is able to attract 4 of every 5 girls. And also, if we were to do statistics of high value men, we will see that they're not super common. Maybe they're fairly common to some extent, but at the end of the day, low value men are much more prevalent, and there are way more of them than there are high value men. So you can become a high value man just as any other man can. All you have to do is put in the work consistently and for an extended period of time. After that extended period of time passes, you will eventually become a high value man, and you will be able to attract these type of women to you. And at the same time, you can always improve your confidence, improve your social skills, improve your dating skills, so that inevitably you are able to attract the high quality woman and the high value woman to you that you want, because you yourself are a high value man. And just like the example I gave you earlier, where I said that 20% of the men attract 80% of the women. That is basically Pareto's law, which states that 80% of the results come from 20% of the causes. For example, 80% of a company's sales come from 20% of the products. 20% of a company's employees produce 80% of the income or revenue for that specific company. So if you apply that into your life, even though you know that there's competition and that there's other guys competing, basically without even you knowing it or without them knowing it, you can make yourself a high value man so that inevitably you're the one who attracts the type of woman you really want, and you put yourself in a position where you're the high value man that you always wanted to be. Now I know this might seem scary at first, but just with the right amount of work for a long enough amount of time, and with the right understanding, and with the right application of effort and the right things you learn and the right experience, you will end up attracting that type of woman to you by becoming a high value man. And that's basically what your ultimate goal is.